The story of Agastya. Lord Shiva and Parvati were going to be married on Mount Kailash. The entire population of Devas and Rishis had gathered there. Because of this, the northern land tipped down, unable to bear the weight of so many Devas and Rishis. Lord Shiva asked sage Agastya to go to the Podhigai ranges. These ranges were in the southern land. Lord Shiva sent him there in order to balance the weight. Agastya was very short in stature, but his might was so great. That is why he was sent. Agastya was sad to go. He wanted to stay and witness the Lord's wedding. Shiva came to know about his sadness. He made good arrangements for him. He granted Agastya a boon that he would still be able to see the wedding from the southern land. From within his matted locks, he took the river Kaveri. Lord Shiva filled it in Agastya's Kamandalam. He bid Kaveri to flow wherever Agastya pointed. Then Agastya reached the south. He travelled to various Shiva sthalams. Now he was happy. Another Asura, Surapaduman, had immense powers. Lord Indra had run away in fear from his Indralogam. He reached Sirgazi in the southern region of India. He prayed to Lord Shiva. He created a beautiful garden there, where he worshipped Lord Shiva. He worshipped him with flowers from his garden. But at the same time, Lord Varuna also feared Surapaduman. He did not shower rains due to this. Hence, Indra's garden and the whole land suffered from the lack of water. Sage Narad met the Indran of the river Kaveri. He told him a secret. He told him that Lord Shiva had once filled the river Kaveri in Agastya's Kamandalam. Indran prayed to Lord Ganesha. He told him about the problem and asked for his help. Ganesha took the form of a crow. He sat on Agastya's Kamandalam, but tottered and fell down from it. Now Agastya lifted his hands. He did so to shoo away the crow. Shoo! River Kaveri understood it as a signal for her to flow. Now the crow took the form of a small boy. Agastya started chasing the boy, trying hard to strike him on the head with his knuckles. Ganesha took his original form. Agastya was saddened that he had tried to strike Lord Ganesha. He started striking his own forehead with his knuckles. Ganesha stopped him and said that everybody who worships me in this manner will be blessed with wisdom. Head of celestial armies. Once the Devas decided to select the head of the gun, there took place a great competition. The contestants were asked to circle the world as fast as possible. After circling the world, they had to return to the feet of Lord Shiva. The gods took off, each on his own vehicle. Ganesha also participated with great enthusiasm in the race, but he was extremely heavy and was riding on a mouse. proved to be a great disadvantage for him. He started his journey, and on the way he met the sage Narad. The revered sage Narad asked him where he was going. Ganesh was very annoyed and went into a rage. He thought that it was unlucky to encounter a solitary Brahmin just at the beginning of a journey. Narad was also the greatest of Brahmins, the son of Brahma himself, but still, it was a bad omen. Along with this, it was also considered not a good sign to be asked where one was heading when one was already on the way to some destination. Because of this, Ganesh felt doubly unfortunate that Narad was there. And Ganesh could not say anything wrong to him. But the great Brahmin succeeded in calming his fury. The son of Shiva explained to him the reason for his sadness. He told him about his terrible desire to win. Narad consoled him. He exhorted him not to despair and gave him a word of counsel. As the great tree is born from a single seed, from the name of Ram has emerged that great tree called the universe. Therefore, write on the ground the name Ram. Circle around it one time and hurry off to claim your prize. Ganesh returned to his father, who asked him how he had finished the race so quickly. Ganesh told him of his encounter with Narad and the Brahmin's counsel. Shiva, satisfied with this response, pronounced his son the winner, and from that moment on, he was acclaimed with the name of Ganpati and Vinayaka. Devotion to his mother. While playing, once Ganesh wounded a cat. When he returned home, he found a wound on his mother's body. He asked how she got hurt. Mother Parvati replied that none other than Ganesh himself had caused this. Surprised, Ganesh wanted to know when and how he had hurt her. Parvati explained that she, as divine power, was present in all beings, all creatures. When he wounded the cat, she too was hurt. Ganesh realized that all women were veritable manifestations of his mother. He decided not to marry. That's how he remained a brahmachari, a lifelong celibate, following the strict rules of brahmacharya. However, in some scriptures and images, Ganesh is portrayed as married to the two daughters of Brahma, Riddhi and Siddhi. Stories about Lord Ganesh. The story of Gajmugasuran. Once there was an Asura. His name was Gajmugasuran. He prayed very hard to Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva was pleased and granted him several boons or wishes. So now Gajmugasuran became very powerful. He also became extremely proud. He troubled the Devas and Rishis. He forced the Devas to sit down and stand up, holding their ears with crossed hands. He forced them to do this 1,008 times in the morning, 1,008 times in the afternoon, and 1,008 times in the evening. Scared, the Devas went to Lord Shiva. They prayed to Lord Shiva to save them from this Asura. Lord Shiva listened to them. He then sent Lord Vinayagar to Gajamugasuran to overcome him. Vinayaka went to Gajamugasuran with several weapons. He took a bow and arrow, sword, axe, and other such weapons. But Gajamugasuran had been granted the boon that he could not be destroyed by any weapon. Because of this, Vinayaka's weapons did not work. Now to kill him, Vinayagar broke off his right tusk. He used it to kill Gajamugasuran. Gajamugasuran changed his form from Asura to a small mouse. Vinayaka crushed the proud Gajamugasuran. He sat on the Mushikan, that is, small mouse. Gajamugasuran, thus defeated, bowed before Vinayagar. And Vinayagar accepted the Mushikan as his Vahana or vehicle. Lord Vinayaka is the supreme power. He is the source of everlasting wisdom. He crushed the ego and vanity of Gajamugasuran. He reduced him to the size of a Mushikan and used him as his Vahana. It is said that we can please him by doing Theopukranam, which means to sit down and stand up, holding one's ears with crossed hands. The story of Ganesh. A long, long time ago, Lord Shiva was away fighting for the gods. Goddess Parvati was alone at home. She had to go for a bath, so she needed someone to guard the house. She was unable to think of an alternative. So she used her powers to create a son. Named Ganesh. She instructed Ganesh to guard the house in a strict manner. She told him not to allow anyone into the house. Ganesh agreed. he followed the strict instructions. After some time, Lord Shiva returned happy after winning a glorious victory for the gods. He was stopped at the entrance of his own home by Ganesh. Ganesh was merely following the instructions of Goddess Parvati. He did not allow Lord Shiva to enter his own home. Lord Shiva became very angry. In his anger, he cut off the head of Ganesh. At the same time, Parvati came out from her bath. She was aghast at the scene. She became very angry at her lord. She told him who Ganesh was. Now Lord Shiva decided to put life back into Ganesh. He decided to replace the cut-off head of Ganesh with the head of the first sleeping living creature he could see. He called his soldiers. He sent them to go in search of such a creature. The soldiers soon reached the jungle. The first creature which came in sight was an elephant. They cut off the head of the elephant. So now Lord Shiva recreated his son with the head of an elephant. Ganesha came alive. This is the reason for the elephant head of Lord Ganesh. But Parvati was not totally happy with the deal and wanted more. Then Shiva granted Ganesh a boon that before the beginning of any undertaking or task, people would worship Lord Ganesh. This is why people worship Ganesh before they start any work. Ganpati Bappa Maurya. Once it was Ganesha's birthday. He had been invited for supper at a devotee's house. Ganesh had a very heavy meal. And returned home on his mouse. On the way, a snake crossed their path. Seeing the snake, the mouse got very frightened. It started to run very fast, and in the process, Ganesh fell down. When Ganesh fell, his stomach, which was very full, burst open. Seeing this, the moon laughed heartily. Ganesh felt insulted. In his anger, he killed the snake. He tied it around his stomach. He then chased the moon. The moon ran for his life. The moon managed to escape from Ganesh. He hid in his palace. Ganesh soon came there. stood guard outside and said to the moon, "Where will you go now? You have to come out sooner or later, and then I'll take my revenge." It became very dark. The moon refused to come out. This caused a lot of chaos on earth. The gods went to Ganesha. They prayed to him to free the moon. Ganesha finally agreed. He let the moon shine. But he cursed the moon, saying, "You hid in your house like a thief. Therefore, anybody who sees you on my birthday will be called a thief." This is the reason why we are not supposed to see the moon on the day of Ganesh Chaturthi. This was also the reason why Sri Krishna was accused of stealing the Shyamantaka gem. But that is another story. Race around the world. On one occasion, Lord Shiva and Goddess Parvati had been given a fruit by the gods. Both of their sons, Ganesh and Kartikeya, wanted it. Their parents thought of an idea to decide who should have it. Goddess Parvati said, "The one who circles the world 3 times and comes back first will get it as a prize." Kartik got on his peacock, his vahana. He flew around the world stopping at all the sacred spots on the way and offering his prayers. Ganesh understood that he would never beat Kartik. The reason was that his vehicle, the mouse, was not able to compete with Kartik's peacock. He thought for a while. Then he came up with a solution. He walked around his parents, Lord Shiva and Parvati. He took 3 circles around them with great devotion. His parents asked him why he was not circling the globe. He answered, "My parents, you are the whole world to me. I need not go further." His parents were surprised and happy to hear this explanation. Kartik returned back and came to know of this. He accepted the superiority of Ganesh and bowed to him.